28 more areas will be placed under alert level 3 due to the surge in COVID-19 infections. Chaos ensued at the vaccination site in Olongapo City. Checkpoints have been set up across the metro as part of the implementation of the no vaccine, no ride policy. Are calling for a 2-week break as more and more educators get the coronavirus. And the knee surgery of Olympic pole vaulter EJ Obiena is a success. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything to know. I'm Charles Lee. Beginning to placing 28 more areas under alert to sting COVID-19. Provinces in Luzon that will be under alert level 3 include Benguet, Kalinga, Abra, La Union, and Pangasinan, as well as Ilocos Norte, Nueva Vizcaya, Isabela, Quirino, Nueva Ecija, and Tarlac. The same goes for Quezon Province, Occidental and Oriental Mindoro, Camarines Sur, and Albay. Areas in the Visayas that will be escalated to alert level 3 are Bacolod City, Aklan, Capiz, and Antique, as well as Cebu City, Mandaue City, and Tacloban City. Also, Cagayan de Oro City, Davao City, Butuan City, Agusan del Sur, and Cotabato City in Mindanao will be placed under alert level 3. These new classifications will take effect starting tomorrow, January 14, until the end of the month. The League of Provinces admits some areas outside the metro are now experiencing a surge in COVID-19. In an interview with The Big Story, League National President Presbitero Velasco said they have been experiencing a surge in cases, especially after the holidays and the entry of the Omicron variant. Velasco added that because of this, provinces have already started preparing for the rise in infections. But the provincial chief noted that it is still up to the respective LGUs to impose reasonable restrictions within their areas.
Iba-iba naman yung mga situations in different provinces, no? It's up to the LGU concerned to impose the restrictions that they may feel reasonable with respect to their particular locality. Because under the IATF rules and even under the Bayanihan Law 2, the LGUs have the power to impose reasonable regulations with respect to this pandemic.
Chaos ensued at the vaccination site in Olongapo City as hundreds of residents rushed to receive their COVID-19 shot. Jenny Dongan has the story.
It was like a scene straight out of an apocalypse movie. Hundreds screaming, rushing to the fence with outstretched arms, all to get that COVID job. This was the scenario at the Columban College in Olongapo City on Monday as throngs of residents flocked to the vaccination center.
Resulta nung announcement ng national na no vaccination, no labas. Tapos naghigpit din ng Subic Bay Freeport. Siguro naghigpit din yung mga companies doon na ni-require din yung mga workers na kinakailangan magpabakuna. Nag-ipon sila doon sa Columban College.
Come Wednesday, the lines, while still long, have become more organized. Many are still on their first dose. One of them is 72-year-old Lola Tresita, who admits that it's against her will to get jobbed.
Hindi dapat maging mandatory sana ito. But then, dahil hindi nga tayo pwede mag-travel without this card, vaccination card, we are forced to do so.
Another hopeful, Mang Albert, has been here since 3 in the morning. It is now 11 a.m. but he's still filling out this information form.
Talagang mapipilitan ka. Daig mo pa yung dagang nasa lungga, di ka makalabas.
Out of the 175,000 target vaccinees of the city, 83% are now fully vaccinated, while 96% are on their first job. The city government has announced a no vaccine, no entry policy to non-residents. Non-residents have to present proof of vaccination. Otherwise, they have to show a negative RT-PCR or antigen test result.
Mayroon tayong konting konsiderasyon, lalo na yung pupunta ng mga medical travel.
Like Olongapo, Infanta Quezon also limits the movement of unvaccinated residents, as well as the entry of unvaccinated non-residents, with fines amounting to as much as 50,000 pesos. For News 5, Jenny Dongon, PR1 News.
Checkpoints are back as the government implements the no vaccine, no ride policy. Meanwhile, some passengers got a free ride at the MRT3 after getting negative results in the train line's random antigen testing. Gerard de la Peña with the story.
Metro Manila commute is about to get harder. The Transportation Department has now put in place a no vaccine, no ride policy in NCR. This means that only those who have received their full primary doses of COVID jabs are allowed to take public transportation.
Ang aim po ng DO nato, ng Department Order na ito, ay maproteksyon po ang ating pampublikong transportasyon na huwag maging vector po ng pagtransmission ng ating ng Omicron variant.
Some transport terminals have already started to adopt the policy.
Paano po yung AstraZeneca yung nakuha nilang vaccine? 3 months po yung hintay nila bago pa sila makaluwas.
Galing kami sa hospital, chemo patient yung mother ko tapos hindi nila pasasakay.
But the DOTR says those who have medical conditions and those availing essential goods or services, including vaccination schedules, are exempted. Airlines and rail operators are still waiting on the guidelines before implementing the new rule. While the mandate will be hard to monitor for jeepneys, the DOTR says they have found a way.
Humingi na rin po kami ng tulong sa PNP para ma-enforce to. Pero mga areas po na magkakaroon po tayo ng pag-check po kung may mga vaccination card po yung mga taong nakasakay sa publikong sasakyan.
Bayan said the policy is punitive, especially when the government is allegedly to blame for vaccine shortfalls. But according to the DOTR,
pwede naman po silang bumiyahe sa kanilang sarili pong hindi lang nga po sa pampublikong sasakyan. Ang individual na karapatan ng tao ay subjected po or subservient sa general will.
Meanwhile, the MRT3 already started its random antigen testing among passengers. Done during peak hours, passengers from North Avenue, Cubao, Shaw Boulevard, and Taft Avenue stations were tested. As of Tuesday, the line has tested almost 100 individuals, 15 of which have tested positive. Those who test negative were given a free ride. For News 5, Gerard de la Peña, We Are One News.
Meanwhile, the DILG says they will not be requiring permits or passes for unvaccinated individuals who want to go out for essentials. DILG Undersecretary Ipemaco Dinsing also clarified that authorities will not be arresting unvaccinated persons outside their homes. Instead, they will just be asked to return to their homes. They have no essential business outside, but if they refuse to comply with the orders of barangay officials, that's the only time that they may be arrested for disobedience.
Kailangan lang nila pakita at patunayan na talagang bibili lang sila, and hopefully hindi naman sila magsisinungaling at payagan po sila ng mga barangay na officials na haharang sa kanila para magtanong kung sila'y bakunado at hindi. At kung sasabihin lang hindi, at bibili lamang, hopefully sa assessment on the ground, alam nyo, assessment naman talaga yan ng mga taong on the ground sa kanilang pag nakikipag-usap sila sa ating mga kababayan. So kung ang kanilang assessment talaga namang bibili, then papayagan po naman sila.
The Alliance of Concerned Teachers has renewed calls for a 2-week health break in areas placed under Alert Level 3. The group pointed out that many teachers and students alike have been sick since the new year started. They also said that nearly every household has a sick member in it right now, which makes it hard for teachers and students to keep holding classes. The Alliance said a quick survey conducted by its NCR Union chapter revealed that over 55% of teachers in the region are experiencing flu symptoms. The most common symptoms are colds and cough, and Senator Risa Ontiveros says she supports the call for a 2-week health break for teachers. She also said that a full 2-week break is the amount of time needed for full quarantine, so teachers can rest, recover, or attend to their families' needs. Pole vault star EJ Obiena underwent successful knee surgery ahead of the INIT indoor meeting in Germany on January 28. Obiena announced on social media that doctors have fixed the issues in his meniscus. The athlete said doctors have also removed the screw from his ACL reconstruction back in 2017. Obiena expressed gratitude for those who helped make the surgery possible. And the PSC has announced earlier this week that funding has been approved for the pole vaulter surgery. But Obiena notes he may use this money to pay back the sponsors who initially raised funds for the surgery. And Obiena says his most immediate task is to get healthy, to get back on track to compete again for the Philippines. Here are the stories to watch out for later today. The city of Manila opens a drive-through vaccination for boosters in Luneta. Opposition coalition Isang Bayan will face the media this morning to discuss election-related updates. And COMELEC is expected to release its final tally of participating party list groups for the 2022 polls. And that's how the day is shaping up to be. Join us again later at 9 a.m. as we monitor the day's biggest stories from sunrise to sundown. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime and anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We're One News.